Hey everybody, this is Sweet Stuff Saturday. We got a lot of projects going on in the basement. So, a couple things. First of all, we've got, we're making a cornhole set, and so we got a couple of things out for that. So the first thing is, we got this, let me move this out of the way. This is a stink reduction system. We got the Festool jigsaw, which we're going to use to go into the little hole saw thing I made. I'm not 100% sure if it's gonna work, but either way, it looks nice. Pin that in, then cut the hole, see what happens. But there's the boards. They're not cut yet, but the frames are over there. They're ready to go. We got a bunch of stuff. This is probably the most in disarray my shop has been in. We have guests coming over with little kids, so I had to clean my shop, which is what I'm down here. So, that's the extension table that I have made, and it just fits into the railings on the table saw, and it uses lockable braces. So you get up under there and click, 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 it pops open, and you squeeze them and they fall shut. Eventually I'll just make an outfeed table. This is a leftover from my old shop, and my old shop was probably like from where I am now over to that corner, and that's it. And now I have the whole basement, so it's a lot bigger and a lot better. We're also building a RC track in this little forested area next to the house. So we've gotten the RC car, my son's RC car, up and running. My other son wants a crawler, so we're probably gonna go get that sometime soon. But we had to get a new charger because the old charger was garbage and it killed one of the batteries. So the new charger will definitely not kill the batteries, but pretty nice and straightforward. Great. This battery is fantastic. I mean, it's just incredible. And the car itself is great. But this is probably not why you're here either. This, first of all, is $200 worth of bits, because apparently Leatherman has ran out of stock of the bit sets, and now they're selling for like $100 a piece on eBay, which is crazy, and another reason why you should never buy gear on eBay, because it's nuts. But I found these new old stock at a hardware store in rural New Hampshire and just picked up the whole thing. It was like 20 bucks. They were on sale. We picked them up, but now I have the very most complete tight charge TTI you can get. It has every single thing. Even has the bit extender. So really nice little package. Just keep it down here in the workshop. It's too big to carry every day, which leads us to the topic for today's Sweet Stuff Saturday. We are trying a thought experiment. So originally, I had picked up this Flash MT. The SOG Flash MT is a super compact, but still full-size multi-tool. It has a pliers set. It has a bit holder right there for 1/4-inch bits. It has a blade, which I actually like. I don't like assist, but that's a good little blade shape. And then it has this sort of like pry tool, can opener thingy. Does sort of a little bit of everything. So that was a multi-tool that I've been carrying, and I really like it. In the move, I lost my Skeletool. It's the first time I've lost a piece of kit, so I'm kind of bummed. But either way, not a big deal, because that is really a great multi-tool. But then I saw EDC Outlaw's Instagram page, which you should go check out, and he had this on there. And at first I was like, oh, it's just the pump wrench, and I was like, not a big deal. Then I realized how small it is. This is the Knipex Cobra XS. So the previous size that was the smallest was the number 5. This is smaller than the number 5, and it is really small. As you can see, the whole thing fits in my hand, and it is about the same footprint as, let's see if I can get these to line up, the Skeletool Sage. It sticks out a little bit, but it's not much bigger in your pocket than the Sage. And the idea is to see if we can take this and use these instead, because while I like the blade on the SOG Flash MT, it is definitely not as ergonomic or as capable as the blade on the Sage Lightweight. And this is the Sage Lightweight, by the way. This is 2 ounces, this is 2.1 ounces, that's 4.7 ounces. So can we squeeze out the main functionality of the multi-tool in a set of tools that weighs the same and is not that much bigger? And I don't know. So I've had this for a week. I will tell you that this is not stainless, which is why EDC Outlaw coats his. And so you can see there's a little tarnish near the edge. It does not have any impact on performance. This is why the WD-40 was out. So just hit it, clean it up, and it works fine. These pliers are definitely better than these pliers. Like, Knipex pliers are some of my favorite pliers. I actually prefer channel locks. So I'm slowly in the process of replacing my garbage pliers with channel locks. You know, one of these breaks or gets lost or stops working, I'll just go get a one channel lock. But when I first got started, I just went to Home Depot and bought, I think these are Workforce Workforce brand, and they're fine. I mean, they work, but like, you know, like the teeth here are garbage, which is absolute garbage by comparison to the teeth up there. And certainly they're nowhere near as good as the Knipex teeth. The Knipex teeth are just phenomenal. I mean, they will grip almost anything. Like, check this out. Like, this is pretty, you know, slippery. And if you give it a good hold, I mean, it will not budge at all. They bite like crazy. Now let's take it and compare it to the pliers from the Workforce, and you're gonna see that the Workforce will not hold this thing at all. I mean, I'm using way more force and I can still get movement on it. And that's because those teeth ground on those garbagey Workforce pliers. They have no holding power. And this is a substantially smaller tool with substantially less leverage, and I can lock that in so that it won't roll or move at all. The other thing that's interesting about these Knipex pliers is look how thin they are. I mean, if you compare them to the tip, now the tip is about the same size, maybe a little bit smaller on the Flash MT. But like, you go back like right there and you're already at a point where the Flash MT's teeth, or the Flash MT's jaws, are thicker. You can get into a lot of tiny spots and, like, you know, grab things out of here and move it out and do things that you really couldn't do. I mean, look, I can go like way far in on this guy. Whereas like here, now these are definitely bigger pliers, but you're gonna hit in a lot of places, you know, about the same time with these guys. So they're much better pliers. Now, this has compound leverage, so it's gonna be a lot more force, but I can still roll this around. I mean, it just goes to show you how incredibly good these Knipex pliers really are. And you know, they're very, very tiny, but you can get a ton of force out of them. Now, these are not cheap, right? Like, this and this are clearly more expensive than the SOG Flash MT. These are 30 bucks. This is like 130 bucks. This is 160 bucks. This thing is like 75, 80 bucks. So it's not really a price thing. It's really a performance thing. The only thing that I'm giving up by using this setup over the MT, realistically speaking, is the driver. And the driver is something, you know, I think like 90% of the time I use the blade, and then 9% of the time I use the pliers, and then about 1% of the time, maybe 2% of the time, I use the driver on a multi-tool. So is this worth it? Substantially better pliers, substantially better knife, basically the same size and weight, a little bit more expensive. And so we're gonna do that thought experiment for a couple weeks this summer, see how this hangs out. I basically carried this all spring and I love this multi-tool. This is a great little multi-tool. So That was the Sweet Stuff Saturday. My bench is a mess. Look at this. I mean, it's just unbelievably messy. So we're gonna try to clean this mess up a little bit before our company arrives. And we're gonna have that in our pocket while we're doing it. By the way, this is my EDC for the day. You know, you really can't go wrong. The 4.7s minis are just so good. So see you around.